What's up, bro? I wanted to talk to you about something which is very important. You know Ashton Hall, right? And you remember, you probably know this clip in which he was in air for like 4 minutes. I wanted to talk to you today about emotion hacking, and this is by far the most important concept you can learn related to creating content. I really want you to take a look at this. I want you to really think about this. Every single handprint, see in this image right over here, was actually a real person. Every single one you see here. There was once a time wherein these humans existed, and every single one of this handprint right over here was an actual human, just like you and me, who put this on the wall, painted this. This was an actual animal that existed, and people actually sat down, like I am right now, and drew this on a wall. I really want you to think about how insane that is to think about, right? We don't really think about caveman times in recent eras. We don't really sit down and think that shit like humans existed back then. But why am I telling you to think about all of this? If you have actually thought about this, you probably have some level of awe and gratefulness and awe of this, like, wow, like we were such great creatures, and it's so insane to think about. Because one thing you need to understand is humans love stories. Every single show you see, you probably seen Friends. Like most people are they're die-hard fans of Friends. Big Bang Theory, people love the Big Bang Theory, the show. The Conjuring series, everybody loves the Conjuring series. Even I love the Conjuring series. If you watch anime, you probably know Attack on Titan or One Piece. People are die-hard fans for these animes. Why? Because there's a concept and there is a tendency for humans to love stories. What do you think this is? This is not paintings. This is a story of our ancestors, a story that they wrote down here on the walls for us both to see. This is a story that they have written down. I want to give you a few examples right over here because emotion hacking is basically this. This is what you know as emotion hacking. The way you get someone addicted to anything is emotion hacking. And all of these big influencers that I'm about to show you right now literally use these same principles to literally hack your emotion. They will make you addicted to them. Let's take a look at this. Iman, this young millionaire dropout guy. What emotion does he sell? He sells hope and motivation. If you were probably introduced to like the online business space and if you're young, you've probably seen this guy and you've felt some level of hope and motivation from listening to his videos and listening to what he has done. Why do you think that is? Why do you think people do that? Because this is what people want. I want you to think about this. Think this is Pac-Man. Pac-Man eats these balls, right? Whenever he moves, Pac-Man eats these balls. As humans, you also have a tendency to love stories. And what are stories? Stories are not narrations, they're emotions. Stories are all about emotions. They're not narrations of events, but emotions of events. And so, as a human, you have a tendency to love stories because they just give you and make you feel an emotion which you lack in your life. The reason why you get hope and motivation from watching this dude is because you lack hope and motivation in your own life. Hamza, hope and motivation. Almost every single young man watching this video has probably watched his videos, right? Why is that? Because he was selling hope and motivation in his videos. Ashton Hall, memes and laughter. You've seen so many memes of this guy. That's what made him viral. He sold this emotion. There is nothing productive about looking at his insanely thick physique. And you're not gonna feel something. You're not gonna feel motivation by watching this shit. You're gonna feel laughter and memes. He sells that emotion. That's why more people watch him. That's why he's growing, and that's why people are addicted to his videos. Even if they're like making fun of him, they're still addicted to his videos. Me, when I had about 25K subs, I was selling motivation. That was what I was selling. And it worked. Every single one of my viral videos, you can just search up on YouTube right now. Search up Rohit Iyer and look at my most popular videos. It's all about motivation. Now it's unfiltered value. This is the emotion I'm trying to sell, and hopefully, done a decent enough job at this shit. I'm trying to sell unfiltered value. This is the emotion I'm trying to sell. This is how it works. This is every single one of these guru tactics that you probably see. Nobody's going to talk about this because this is how it works. What you must do is every single video you post, you have to understand, you have to sell the same emotion in every one of these videos. If you do not sell the same emotion, it is not going to work. Every one of these shows that you like, that we saw over here, everything is selling an emotion. If you really think about it, every one of these shows is selling the same emotion in every episode. That is why people love it. That is why people are addicted to it, because people want this emotion inside their mind. They want to feel this. Why do people watch romance movies? Because they lack romance in their own life. That's why. It's to fill a void inside of them, which is why they want this emotion. And so, if you want to really quickly make people addicted to your videos and actually, convert them into leads if you're running a business, you need to decide what emotion do you want to sell. What is this big emotion your brand is going to sell? And then once you decide what emotion to choose, you just sell it. You just sell it in every one of these videos. You make sure your script is made in such a way that every single one of these videos is going to sell you an emotion, sell the viewer an emotion. Because this is how you predictably grow your personal brand. Nothing else matters more than this. I personally help my clients. I run an agency, so I'm trying to get clients, and if you are interested to, work with me and see what I can do in your own business and scale your personal brand, you can DM me on Instagram. I'll talk to you. Anyways, take care. Goodbye.